Welcome to On the Square. I'm your host. Welcome to On the Square. I'm your host, Michael Coffey. Also, I have my partner in crime, the legal crime, another producer of multiple shows, and a person that is concerned about our general well-being. And I'll let him introduce himself when he's ready. So I want to go through my ritual of giving shout-outs to different groups. And I'm not endorsing any of these groups. I'm letting people know that there's people out there fighting the good fight, whether they're right or wrong. They're out there participating. A lot of people out there saying there's nothing you can do. You know, all you're doing is just sleepwalking through this environment, and that's not the approach. I'm not asking anybody to be a martyr. I'm not asking anybody to risk their lives, but at the same time, you're not here just to eat and play and have sex. You know, your life have more meanings than that. So that's what I'm asking you to do something. You know, I used to have a friend that used to say that even if it's saving the snails, do something, help something. And I want to give a shout out to the Moore Science Temple. I want to give a shout out to the Rastafarian culture. I want to give a shout out to the Prince Hall Masons. I want to give a shout out to the Nuwabians. I want to give a shout out to the Nation of Islam. Also, I want to give a shout to different types of groups: the Free Alabama Movement, the Justin League out of New York, the New Era Nation. They have 7 chapters across the United States, from Detroit to Washington, D.C. The Black Land Initiative out of Oakland, California. The Poor People Campaign.org out of, and they have different locations also. Headquarters out of North Carolina. And I'm going to still have some other things to talk about, but the topic today, and we can mix it up, is entrepreneur schemes that they have, the federal government has. And this one under Trump is called the Opportunity Zone. I just want to refresh in everybody's memory that Richard Nixon had this same kind of scenario in the 70s. It was called the Minority Business Program. People on the ground level right here, we call it the black capitalism. You know, this is to get people off their game and distract them. You know, put them in nonprofit situations thinking that they're entrepreneurs and all that kind of stuff, and forget that they're trying to fight for their liberations. And when I say liberation, just because you buying stuff, that don't make you free. You know, I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, all those liberations that I'm talking about. Not that you think that you have the right to say anything, do anything, go buy anything. That's not freedom. That's access. So we'll talk about the Opportunity Zone, and we also want to touch a little bit on this holiday season that everybody is compensating by buying gifts because they don't have the time, or they didn't make the time to spend with their loved ones, and for other reasons. So, or buying people's affections off, you know. Now, getting back here, because we're short on time, try to move faster. We still want to stay focused on Saturday academies. That's after public school or private school, whatever school you're being sent to. You got to get people in your neighborhoods to work to develop Saturday academies, so you get to learn the real education, not what somebody think you should know. Also, we want to focus on investment clubs. That's tricky because a lot of us don't know about stocks and bonds and precious metals and stuff like that, and only 10% of the population is in the stock market. That should tell you something. 10% of the population owns stocks. So what the other 90% is doing? Think about that. Civic clubs. This is like a book club, but it's basically teaching you how to use government to work for you. You know, you always see over there, they're getting everything. They're getting their roads paved and shoveled. Everything is upkeep. The police is patrolling their area. You know, it looks neat and kept. Over here, it looked like a wasteland. Why is that? Why is resources going over here and there's no resource over here? You got to know how government works. You got to know about the census tract. You got to know how to play the game, you know, and you play it to win. You're either playing chess, or checkers. Other thing, because I know I'm running out of time, the Capitol switchboard, that's who you want to talk to, your federal legislators, the senators and the congresspersons. 202-224-3121. You can call your Congress. This line is going directly to Washington, D.C. There's survival schools. There are about 3 that I know of in Connecticut. There's one main one in Vermont. We got to know survival. Look at this. Winter's around the corner. What if your your car breaks down? You was going to Litchfield, and it breaks down in Litchfield, and you're in the middle of the woods. What do? Do you have flares? Do you have blankets? Do you have a first aid kit? Do you have water? What do you have if you get in trouble? And how to survive in a bad situation? What if a snowstorm hits you when you're up there? And it don't have to be Litchfield. It could be anywhere that is deserted of human beings. It's just a lot of forests and animals and stuff like that. And I'm going to have, what else did I miss? Oh, the rites of passage. Rites of passage is very important, and I promote anybody that does rites of passage. But what we need is an incentive. I don't want you speaking no African language and wearing African clothing and then think you made a rite of passage. Yes, we're not on a continent, so you don't have to go kill a lion or go to a distant country and come back and find your way back home. You don't need that kind of ritual, but you do know that you have to invest in that, your son or daughter, to be an adult. You're taking them from a youth and changing them into adult. So you need certain things in the rites of passage program besides just, reciting some African terms. And one of the things I want to see in these programs is incentives. We got to have our young people want to die to get into these programs. Like one thing might be startup money for a business or college scholarship funds. Who don't want to go to college if they want to go to college, and who don't want to start up their own business if they want to start up their own business? So our rites of passage got to be like other ethnic groups' rites of passage. We have all these big ceremonies and all this music and drumming and stuff, and then after the ceremony only, what happened? They just hit the streets. I participated in one where they had a party. After they left the rites of passage, they went and partied. I understand you have to have a little bit of entertainment, but the reality of what's going on now, people are being replaced. Even though they tell you it's full employment, it's going to get harder and harder to get employment and start your own business unless you got skills and you have capital. If you don't have any capital and no skills, you're going to be in a tough situation. So I'm going to let this brother that shouldn't have to introduce himself, but some people don't know him. They need to know him because he's trying to do the best he can at this young age as being a soldier and a warrior and a scholar.
All right. Appreciate that. Once again, for those who don't know, I am Deli. I run Talk Hartford TV and Hopeline TV, also shot on every Thursday. beginning at 6 p.m. We usually end around 8 p.m. with both shows. A little bit about that. With Turkey Day passing, we gave back to the community at least 12 turkeys, so 12 families got to eat. We're real proud about that, and we're not done. We're gonna start giving away blankets and things that we know the community can benefit from. It's our first giveaway, so we're pretty excited about that, and we want to definitely be involved more with the community. Shout out to my co-host Hoff, and shout out to Juice. Each and every one of us have busy schedules, but we made time to make sure everybody can eat. Schools got a chance to benefit from what we did. The less fortunate got a chance to benefit what we did. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to Hartford. I want to say thank you to the bottom of my heart, from the community, period. Because there's been some situations going on where you might not have seen my show on consistently, or even Big Brother M's. Those are situations out of our control, and we won't get into it. But I will say one of the biggest things I missed out on was talking about the giveaway live on air with all of you who are watching right now, because I know Big Brother M has a good following, and I just want y'all to know that I am 30 as of right now, and ever since I was younger, I've probably been in the studio shy of between 8 to 10 years. It's been that long, but I've had my own shows probably for a good 7 to 6. I want to say that this was big for us, because one thing I will say, and shout out to this gentleman from the board, he talked to me after the show, and he was like, that's real big. People need to know what's actually going on in Hartford, because let's face it, what you hear on the news, you hear about the ongoing violence, the killing, the kidnappings, whatever you want to hear, but nobody chooses to showcase the good that Hartford residents can do and do for this city. I live in this city, but I'm not just an inhabitor. I do for my community, I do for my people. There's many ways to do different things for your city and your community. With everything changing up, switching up, everybody wants to call it gentrification, and that's not wrong. But what I'm saying is, regardless of what our Senate or the government or our mayor or whatever they got going on, I feel like it's still our duty and our opportunity to take care of us. For us, by us, that's FUBU. We need to take care of us. Our acronym for Hope Line is helping other people exceed. That also stands for hope. And I want y'all to remember that. I want you to remember my name as well. And if you don't at least remember that, remember Hope Line TV and Talk Hartford TV, because we will be more in the community. I want y'all to know that just because the news may not paint the picture that we out there doing good, we are. And I want to also talk, not to take away too much time.
No, go ahead.
We got a lot of topics to go into. I want to shine light to the lady, the news anchor that did pass a little while ago. I actually recently found out she's did a lot for the state, and she was involved in a lot of things. But what I'm really going to say is, rest in peace to her. But the reason why I don't have really a grudge against Channel 3 or Fox 61, but I would like them to start picking some of us up who do local shows on Hartford Public Access, because a lot of us is well informed, like my brother over here, and a lot of us do for our community, like myself over here. And people if you want to see the good is being done. All we need is a platform. So I challenge you all to definitely get in contact with your local newscasters, whatever, and let them know that we got some good, strong black people making waves, headlines, and doing what we need to do for our people. And that also needs to be showcased, along with the stuff that gets them ratings, like drugs, guns, and violence.
Or being called out. A lot of them scared to come on my show because I'm out here to...
But you're more than welcome.
Yeah, you can come. And if you come sincere, we're willing to listen. Because this show is a public show.
We're not ignorant people at all. We give you a chance to talk, as long as you give us our chance to speak, and so we can understand each other better. The goal is progression, and I can speak for the both of us for that. So, but that is my little insert back to my guy, you know.
Okay, these pamphlets that you can't see from a distance, but I can read it to you. What to do when you're stopped by the police. This is a pamphlet out of the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers Incorporated. What's their website? www.NOB, B as in Bob, LEO, O as in ostrich, .org. That's their website. And Know Your Right. Also, the former 49 quarterback that's been boycotting.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, boycott in the NFL. He's also part of Know Your Rights. So he's part of this group. This group is before him, but he has joined into the battle. He also have donated $900,000 out of $1 million. He pledged $1 million to help people like, Brother Day or Delhi, and anybody that's trying to help their neighborhoods and communities. So he's pretty much gave all that money away, $900,000 out of $1 million. And I'm not saying I'm for or against him. I'm just saying he's trying to do something. And if you're gonna join him, if you're gonna join Brother Delhi, you're gonna join me, do your research. Don't immediately assume that somebody's trying to take your money and running away with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Find out what they're doing, or join them, volunteer, and help. Okay, so this is important. I'll give you an example why it's important. From mid-October to right now, what is it, the 12th? Right now, from 5 people been shot in New York City. 4 died by the police. I'll say it again. 5 people got shot, 4 got killed from mid-October to now. And so I'm not counting today, but I'm saying we're on the show today. So who knows what happened, prior to today and stuff. So this is serious. I don't know the circumstances of why they got shot, but it's still a civilian versus police situation. And we got to figure this thing out, because it shouldn't end in, a gunshot, unless it's a shootout.
I want to add to that.
Yeah, go add it.
No way am I saying, what's up, Luz? Shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. As Luz is one of my very, very beautiful friends. She's always a supporter, so I love to shout out my supporters whenever they're around. But more than a supporter, she's a very great friend, and she's always been holding me down, so gotta shout her out. But we're not trying to say, especially not I, that all police are bad. Let's be real. I even correct some of my friends when they talk, yo, F them, this, that, and the third. But if a situation happens, somebody attacking your mother, you can't get to her, what's the first thing that's gonna come to your mind? You're gonna end up dialing 911, right? Because let's be real, you're not Superman, you can't teleport, and it is what it is. That's why I don't go around saying I hate them. And I have my personal experiences with them, none of them good. But I still understand that they wear a badge, they got a job, just stay out of my way, as long as, I'm doing good and under, not in your business. You know what I mean?
Let them do their job correctly. That's
right. And that's honestly all I'm asking. And there are some decent ones, because I'm not going to lie, the last episode, I explained to you all that I used to go to the community meetings called Know Thy Neighbor, where a few officers come and they take questions from Hartford residents and people who are concerned about their community. And it's not what you would think, people trying to snitch on people causing havoc in the neighborhood and nothing like that. They just giving their concerns, not only about the neighborhood, but about police themselves. And a couple of them that were in there, some of the policemen, a couple of my boys actually went to school with out here in Hartford High or Weaver, or some of them, you know, just regularly patrol the community, this and that. There's actually one good one in there, and I can honestly say, like, he's not with the petty stuff, he's not with the harassment stuff, because during the summer, you know, if my boy was on here, Flea, he'll tell you, we could just be sitting on the stoop, and 3 of them will pull up. Nobody called them, because think about it, in the area I live, ain't nobody calling you anyway, but they literally pulled up, took IDs, all of this, when there's so many more things going on in the city where you could put your attention to. And that's one reason that will kill off any hope police officers will have with the community or trust, because you cannot go around flexing power that you wield against civilians, people who just living day to day. If I want to come outside my house and relax, I want to do that. I shouldn't have to hear anything from you, especially if I'm not committing any crimes or breaking any laws. So there are actual police people who, they see you, might give you a head nod. If you don't get nothing, they don't get nothing in return, they ain't about to reverse and be like, what? Come here, boy. Put them hands on the car. And anybody I know, if you've been arrested or anything like that, and it's a hot summer day, you know their hood is about 900 degrees. So you burning the skin on your hands. And they know this. But this is why I said there are ones that take their job seriously and they should be literally recognized, and there are ones that those bad apples make the rest of y'all look bad, just like y'all view us. A couple bad apples, you think all black people might be doing some crazy stuff. You get what I mean? It's crazy, because even at work, and I wear scrubs, you still got women, whether they patients' families, or even workers, who clutch their purse as I walk by you. What I'm really gonna risk my job to rob you? That doesn't make any sense. And if I did, I would be one of the America's most dumbest criminals. So I'm telling you right now, I don't plan on robbing you, heard? I don't plan on robbing you. But nah, I just wanted to say that, you know, shout out to people who actually do their jobs and care about the community. That's the one reason why I joined that movement. I no longer am a part of Know Thy Neighbor, but I still respect what they do. And it's a start. They created a avenue, a platform where, you know, police can come and speak how they feel. And then we, the residents, can speak how we feel. Doesn't mean that we gotta like each other, doesn't mean that we gotta kiss each other, you know, feet or anything like that. But if we're gonna live in this city and y'all gonna patrol it, there needs to be some type of common understanding. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point that out there, that I'm not just one of those people who cap on the internet. That's the term used these days, which means, you know, just run my mouth on the internet and I have no purpose. There's a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes that try to help us as well. So I wanted to put that out there, that there are good, but there's definitely a lot of bad. And in day and age like this, technology ways is being showcased. Choose how you want to be out there.
Right. I do want to just veggie back on what the brother was talking about. Here's something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Not what he said, but what people have said in the past. Just because they don't know what you have done or what you're doing, don't mean you're doing anything. You know, there's things called anonymous. You got people that's sending large sums of money for a particular program or movement. They just don't want to get credit for it.
Right.
You know, so you don't have to be waving your hand, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and all that stuff. If you want to stay behind the scene, which a lot of people doing dangerous stuff, you know, that hurts the neighborhoods, are behind the scene. You don't have to be on Front Street.
No, you don't.
If somebody is sharing information, I call myself a dispatcher of information, don't worry about their background. You know, worry about they telling the truth, but don't worry about their background, because there's a lot of people that don't want to share what they're doing because they have a bullseye on them.
Go ahead. I want to add to that. Like he just said, you know, you choose to give that information or whatnot, you know, that's your choice. You get what I'm saying? But that's another thing. You go on the news, you hear them talk, oh, we will have a lot more higher success rate in these cases if the community comes up and steps forward. First off, we do know what can happen if you are in the limelight and you up there giving out information that could potentially incarcerate someone else. Second of all, if you still go through with it, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, and you choose to disrespect the person who's given the info by saying, well, I know you committed this crime back and this and that, how could we know your word? So now the person's exposed not only to people who might want to harm them, but now the police don't even want to take their word. It's like, if I was that person, what I got to live for now? Every day I gotta check my back or whatnot, because you already know a lot of times that info is gonna be leaked or released. They whole info is, and next thing you know, from that day on, the rest of their life, everything's gonna be changed. So, like he said, if someone chooses to help y'all, and me personally, I'm not gonna put my views on this, but I will say if someone does choose to help y'all, you shouldn't be smacking them in their face talking about, is this info legit because of how they used to live their life or something they might have done or whatnot. You wanted cooperation. You shouldn't have to, you can't pick and choose who you get the cooperation from sometimes. So this is what you asked for. This is the city of Hartford, where everything goes and anything can happen. And that's just reality. So why don't you take the help when you can get it? You get what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. I'm just a person who's giving you info. That's it. But go ahead, sorry.
Well, you had to get it off.
Yeah, I had to.
Also, the last information I also usually say on the show is the pocket constitution. Of course, you can't see it from this angle, and we're short-staffed, so you have nobody to zoom the cam to this constitution. You got to know some of these rules and regulations. It's just like if somebody is teaching you how to play basketball and you don't know the rules and regulations, who you think gonna win that game if they're controlling the rules and regulations? So the only way to navigate is to know some of these rules. It don't mean that you agree with it. It doesn't mean that you're trying whatever you're trying. But at least you got to know that if you do this, this is going to happen. You know, so learn some of these rules and regulations. A lot of people, some of the stuff that our emperor is going through is a violation of some of these rules in this book. And when you hear these reporters talking about most of American citizens don't even know that rule that the emperor has, you know, violated or allegedly violated. That's why, you know, you should get one of these. And don't tell me you don't have time to read. You might not have time to read it in one shot. But if you read it like one page a day, you're going to, before you know it, you're going to have the whole Constitution read. And yeah, go ahead.
My question is, if it's good looking, man. Shout out to Larray. He also does a show here on Wednesdays, I believe. Level Up TV. Shout out to them. My whole thing is this. If, in fact, this man, the Orange Monster, broke all these laws, this is the thing. Like, this is my personal opinion. I don't feel like he's going to be impeached. We all know the truth.
I don't feel that way either.
Simple thing is, they could drag this all out, but it's already a fact that he committed these crimes. But y'all was so quick to get Clinton out of here when he got some top. got some ad or whatever. But this man done fornicated with other countries. And when I mean fornicated, I mean like he literally was in collusion or whatnot. And I know what fornication means, so don't even try to come at me. But
you're just being creative on
right,
using it.
Yeah, he colluded with, Russia and all of that. Like, but he's the main one talking about America great and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Why would you ask another country to do dirt that he know easily he could have just found somebody on payroll to do? And now look at the mess that you put. You made it look like we, as the American people, look crazy out here because if our leaders stooping to something like this, ain't nobody gonna respect you around the world. You get what I'm saying? Third world's alike. So my whole thing is like, we just went left getting him in here, period. It was a joke. I don't even think he was taking it serious. And white people didn't want Obama in there in the first place. And let's be real. Once they had the opportunity to hear that he was running and he was wealthy, they jumped for it. Because a lot of people in my department, I know for a fact, they only voted for him because of what he is and who he is.
Right.
Not what he stands for. Because it's alarming to see how much women in my department vote and back him, knowing what he's done said. So, whatever.
Even though we tried not to bring Emperor 45 on the show, but since we did, we can just throw something.
That's my bad.
No, I'm not mad at you. I mean, you gave important information. I just want to say the thing that rubs me the wrong way, and you try to reduce how many things rub you the wrong way so you don't end up being depressed and stuff like that. What rubbed me the wrong is when I hear somebody says he's rich and that makes him intelligent. Now, you hear that for the Jerry Jones, for the Dallas Cowboys, the owner of Dallas Cowboys, from 95 to now, they have not been to a Super Bowl. But they're talking about this man is highly intelligent and he never failed in anything. Boom. This dude haven't been to the Super Bowl from 95. He have not put a team together. Donald Trump is supposed to be highly intelligent. What I forgot who said his IQ is 180. Oh, his economic advisor said his IQ is 180. What wealthy people do is they know how to work the system because of their accountants and lawyers and their friends association with other people doing the same dirt they doing. That's not smart. That's somebody understanding how I can get a cut, how I can steal from other people. If somebody takes a gun and put it to your head, there's a good chance he's gonna get your money. That's intelligence, or does that mean somebody has a position of power to take advantage of a situation? All Jerry Jones and Emperor 45 is in a position to take advantage of weakness and pounce on it. That's nothing to do with intelligence or IQs. It's just you're in a position to bully and abuse power. That's all it is.
Yep.
That's crazy to me every time. He got billions, so he must be smart. No, he has a team with him. There is nobody that's wealthy that don't have a team. That's accountants, lawyers, dudes that's gonna do dirt.
Yeah,
that's what I think. The dude that will, and there is a few people on his team that will rearrange your molecules. You know what I'm saying?
He got hitters.
he got people that rearrange your molecules. So now it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has to deal with power. So let's get that straight.
You got hitters that'll make your body milli rock on any block.
Yeah. So let's get this straight. Some of you guys, because you got $1 billion, if you're worth $1 billion, net worth doesn't mean you're intelligent. It just means that you're willing to do whatever you have to do to get those billions. And if it means you got to kill a lot of people, throw people under the bus, lie, cheat, you got the guts. That's what it means. You got the guts, and you got some connections. You don't think all these senators are scared of this dude? How you want to vote? And he's been investigated 36 times. Tell me a black person that has been investigated 36 times, would they be in jail or alive?
Done.
He's been bankrupt 6 times. He's at Bill Cosby level of women that he sexually assaulted. This dude is over 40 women that has come and admitted that he did something inappropriate. That means this dude, he's been sued so many times I can't count. Do that sound intelligence, or that means that it sounds like somebody got abused of power? Yeah. I'm sick of this. Trump is so smart. What?
I don't even, and you know what's crazy? Like, that's why I stopped talking to them at work or whoever. I don't, like, even on Xbox Live, anybody that knows me on Facebook, like, I always post about to go on Xbox Live. And with Xbox Live, for those who don't know, you know, you play with people all around the world. A lot of people in Canada, Mexico, whatever. Man, somebody brings up Trump, you bring out who really is what. Because last night, I was playing Halo, and they were like, somebody brought up Trump, and they were like, well, that nigger Obama didn't do anything either. You know, I'm like, whoa, and this is people I've been playing with for
a minute.
For a minute. I'm like, yo, you forgot, like, my guy, I'm black. He was like, whoa, I'm sorry, Deli, but you gotta understand. You got your good niggers and you got your bad niggers. You know what I mean? And I don't know where you fall into, but, you know, I just wanted to talk about that one. Obama, he ain't a good old boy. And I was like, listen, it's time for me to log out. You heard? Like, I can't do it. So, yeah, go back. My bad. Go back to that.
Well, I mean, you're just trying to give some realism. Look, I voted for Obama. I'm not a fan. Very disappointed. But he's also put himself, and people get mad at me, he put himself in a position where he couldn't do anything. He knew good and well they was going to control him. So he couldn't do anything. And then black people come up to me and say, well, he inspired people to be more than what they think they can be. What? Your mom and dad inspire you to be more than what you can. Your uncle, your pastor, your teacher, an athlete, somebody that you can touch. I can't touch Obama. He ain't in my neighborhood. I gotta look to somebody in my geographical area that can inspire me to be more than what I think I could be. I'm not gonna look at on the TV set and say, oh, this dude inspired me. I know I gotta do something. You know, you got to get a so-called training. I don't want to say education, but you got to get training. You know, you got to stay out of jail. You know, because you don't want the felony chasing you around in your career. You can't be abusing these women and having all these offsprings running around unkept. You know, it's just basic stuff. Not to sound like a Republican or conservative, but you just can't be out here wilding. And if you're wilding for 2 or 3 years, when do you evolve? When do you wake up and say, hey, okay, I had my little fun for 2 years. Now it's time for me to progress. It's trying to be more than what I am, you know, and take care of my seed. It's time for a career and try to open up a business that's going to benefit the neighborhood, not benefit me. You know, I opened up a hat shop. So what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not hiring a bunch of people because you're not going to have a bunch of people want to buy a hat. You can buy a hat anywhere. You can buy a hat at a grocery store or a gas station. So you're not making anything achievable, you know, to benefit your neighborhoods. I give you props that you made an effort. You took a risk. But outside of that, we got to stop taking little risks. We got to start doing stuff that's going to benefit the collective. And once it benefits the collective, we get leverage against other groups. You feel what I'm saying? If you produce something that other groups want, you're in a position of power. You know?
Right.
So we got to learn that. Stop. Black people have more entrepreneurship than any other ethnic group. 2.6 million businesses. No other ethnic group. You got to remember, when I say ethnic group, I didn't say the white collective. I'm saying ethnic groups. Germans, French, you know, that those are groups. So when you put the black collective, again, and I'm not talking about Africans from overseas, I'm not talking about Caribbeans from over this, overseas. I'm talking about right here, the blacks here. 2.6 million jobs. Businesses, excuse me. And what they don't talk about, 90% is only 1 or 2 people running that. So they're not hiring anybody. They just by themselves. You know, so you got 100,000 businesses that have 2 or less people running that. But you got 200.6 businesses. So we gotta get them business to grow. Goya started off with a husband and wife. That's an international business. Every Spanish-speaking person that have a business deals with Goya. Can you say that for another black company?
Nope.
Sears in the 1860s, somewhere in 1860s, 1880s, started with a white guy and a black guy. Now they fell on hard times because of a company called Walmart, you know. But prior to Walmart, they was the company that you go to for the department stores. But they only started with 2 people, and now they're an international company that's about to fall off the planet. But that's not my point. My point is it started off with 2 people and became internationally known. So we got to get serious. I want to hear that, you know, black people always struggling. We got tons of business. None of these businesses are growing, and nobody want to talk about it because it looked like you're attacking those entrepreneurs that took a risk. I'm not attacking them for taking a risk. I'm saying make your business grow. And in business, me going to college for business, if you can't make your business grow, there's another tactic you can do to make your business bigger. It's called merging. Deli got a business, I got a business, and we both got the same business. We selling food, grocery store. I'm doing so-so, he doing so-so. We get together, put a plan together, and work together and merge our business so now it becomes bigger. Now we got more resources to try to get more stuff to make our technology and all that kind of stuff to make our business stronger. That's what we got to do. So when you're stuck and your business not growing, you got to look at the different options you have to make your business grow. You know, so those are the things. Now, we didn't forget that we're in the time of jingle bells. And if Deli want to throw some out, well, I can say a little bit. It's 9:42. The first celebration of Christmas in this country, I'm not talking about the other countries in the world, in the United States, happened in 1837 in Louisiana. A Louisiana area was the first to celebrate this kind. And when I say Christmas it changed. It went from like a celebration to buying stuff. You got to buy stuff. So so Christmas now, right here, 2019, is different from 1837. Now, when it became official, in 1870. President Grant, you know, did what he had to do, make it official national holiday. There's a few things in it. You have St. Nicholas, which all the information I'm giving you is going to be, there's going to be some conflict. Because no holidays that we have here, there's always a flip side to the information. Nobody's giving it to you straight. So I'm giving you a lot of information, and you got to put that information together. It's called homework. So I'm not lying to you. So I'm just saying I'm not accepting the information myself. I know that there's a lot of, I don't want to say lie, but there's a lot of inaccurate information. So I believe Saint Nicholas, he's seen people in his environment. So he's from Asia Minor. You might call it Turkey in those areas. A lot of those areas in Europe and Asia, or Eurasia, whatever you want to call that area right around there, they have harsh temperature. And it don't necessarily snow all the time, but it's cold in those areas during this period of time. When they seen these people seeing the trees still green, they started celebrating that because it showed life can exist in this harsh climate. Now, I'm not going to get graphic on what they were doing to celebrate that, but it was a lot of drinking and a lot of inappropriate behavior going on around that tree. Now, The legend goes, so I'm saying it's a legend, it could be a myth or whatever you want to call it, said that St. Nicholas came by and told them that they should decorate those trees to celebrate and do that inappropriate behavior. Now, some people saying St. Nick is Santa Claus. That's a whole nother story again. Again, if you're dealing with Santa Claus, some people believe Santa Claus was copied from the Norse mythology. So we're talking about Odin and Thor and Loki and those characters. So if you study Norse mythology, you would see that Odin used to ride a sledge. Odin is fat, like Santa Claus, big white beard, like Santa Claus, and rode a sledge. The thing was, the sledge wasn't pulled by reindeers, it was pulled by goats, similar animals, and all across the skies. So I think that's where Santa Claus, not Saint Nick. See, there's a conflict right there. The gift giving, that came out of Germany. If you're nice, you get a present. If you're naughty, you got abused. Now, according to what I read, it doesn't mean it's accurate because I wasn't there back then. But they would take a mallet, it's a round ball with spikes on it, and they used to, or whatever weapon they took, and they would smack that disagreeable child during that time of so-called Christmas. That was his punishment. So either you get a gift or you get pounced on, with a weapon. Now, you could say, I believe it, I don't believe it, that's fine. Do the research. You have mistletoes. Mistletoe came out of England, Anglo-Saxon group. When they would have berries, and I don't know what kind of berry it was, but they call it mistletoe. When those berries get eliminated or there's no more to go around, the practice stopped, but it came out of England. So you see, most of this stuff came out of England, Germany, and the North Europe countries, and it got exported into the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of this stuff, I'm not going to give the Europeans all these credits because they did borrow stuff from ancient cultures, Egypt, Babylonian, and other ancient cultures, countries and cultures. They borrow stuff like most people do. They borrow. Nobody coming up with no original ideas. They're buying stuff and claiming it. So, and then today's Christmas kind of changed, and Deli can talk about it. It's all about buying somebody a gift to make them happy or making yourself happy, right?
Yeah.
iPhones, Xbox.
Yeah, so, today I would definitely categorize it as people will literally waste their last, and even then some, go into negative overdraft, whatever you want to call it. Take out loans that accrue so much interest it's not even worth it, to get gifts that they believe their family members, friends, lovers, whoever may like and want. So, to give a clear example, I used to talk to a girl, and when I mean I used to talk to her, I used to deal with her, but we still remain friends. And recently, as in like a couple hours ago, we had a discussion, and I believe she ended up telling me that, she just left Walmart and it was crazy in there. Everybody knows Walmart's crazy, but especially around this time, because everybody has the same thoughts going through their head. Being first, and wanting to waste exuberant amount of money on whatever gifts they can snag up out of there. So why did I bring that up? I brought it up because I asked her, well, what were you doing in Walmart? Because what a lot of people don't understand about me is I didn't grow up celebrating most of these holidays. The only one that we really got together for was Thanksgiving, and we didn't get together for the sake of the Americanized part about it. It was just, a day of eating and a day of just being with family. Yeah, being with family. That's all it really came down to. But getting back on track, you know, she brought up that now recently this girl was out of work for a few months, and you know, my sister had helped her to seek employment, and she just recently, I say this is probably her second paycheck to date with the company. So, you know, she's seen, this is probably the most money she's ever made with any job she's had. And I know this because I studied her resume myself. And, you know, I'm happy for her. She's making money. I wouldn't even ask anyone to help her out if I didn't think she was worth it. She's a mother, obviously, of two. She has a son and she has a daughter. The son is the oldest, the daughter's the youngest. And the son is at the age where video games is definitely on the top of the list. So I asked her, what's up? She says it was shopping, Christmas shopping, and she got the boy a PS4, brand spanking new, plenty of games. She got a daughter, you know, X amount of stuff. Her mom this, brother that, cousins this. And I said, let me explain something to you. And if it seems like, oh, you're putting her out there, nah, don't look at that. I'm using her as an example. And she's the type of person who she wouldn't get mad at the information being put out because she knows it's true. And we've talked about this. Like, you got to use experiences. Oh, okay. I'll wrap it up. But bottom line is, what I'm trying to say, and this situation might also reach out to some of you where you might just recently been employed, especially around this time of year. What I told her is the same thing I want to convey to you guys. Do not risk going broke and then some for a holiday that clearly is not worth the time of day. And knowing that you have real bills that will not go away, right, or wait until you're done with your Christmas shopping. If people love you, they love you. If you can do for them, then do for them. But do not monetize your love, point blank. Good. And that's what I told her. Whether she takes it the right way, we don't know. But it's said, and I hope it marinates with not just her, but everybody needs to understand. Let me repeat that. Do not monetize your love. Too many people are doing that. And that's the problem with not just this country, but the world. Right. And that's all I was going to say.
Now, have you got any announcements and give people updates, on your different shows and different activities, if you have some, because I know most people are, shutting everything down for the holidays.
So just know that next week they are closed. I believe the week after that might be Christmas, not sure. Well, we could easily do it like this. Today's date is
the 12th.
7 days is the 19th. So they're closed that week, and 7 days from there is actually, it would be the 26th.
They're closed
so they're going to be closed for 2 straight weeks. So then actually 3 straight weeks because New Year's would be the next one. Mm-hmm. So you will see us officially the second week in January. Which will probably end up being like the 8th or something like that.
Right.
Just know that we are still giving away blankets to the less fortunate. We're gonna start that process next week. When we are back on the, that's what's up.
For this is, so that it stops at.
Oh yeah, this. All right. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about, but we will be back on second week.
So that'd be that. I think we might make it. Well, you make the first week of January on a Thursday, right?
It wouldn't be the first week.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Nah, yeah. So the New Year's, I forgot about that. Okay.
So with that being said, you'll see it's the second week, but know that we are doing the giveaway blankets starting probably as of next week. What we did for the giveaway, even though we weren't here, we went live just like we just did for this show. A portion on my phone, so y'all knew what was going on. Thanks for everybody that shared it. This is actually at 1,000 views, I think, right now. And we're gonna go live, giving it away. Once again, we will not show who we're giving it to. That's not what we're about. We're not about putting people on the spot. We're just giving it away to the people who need it. Other than that, we do have a big announcement when the show comes back on. It's about